So in this tutorial we are going to study about interfaces in Java. So basically we have already heard this word interface. So GUI is graphical user interface. So basically interface is something which connects two different environments, or which allows one environment to connect with another one. So if we take example of GUI, which is graphical user interface, then there is an interface that connects user to the graphics. So if the user will implement graphics, or if it implements the interface, he will be able to access the graphics of the computer system. So similarly, interfaces in Java also provide some functions which are abstract by default. So if you want to create an interface, you will have to use this keyword interface followed by the name of interface, and in this interface you can only create abstract methods. No need to write abstract in front of them because they are abstract by default. So one interface, basically the use of interfaces for, let's say we want a particular class or a particular subclass. So let me create a class rectangle, and I want to say that this rectangle must implement some of the features or some of the functions of this interface. So let's suppose there is a programmer who forgets to create some area function inside this rectangle class. So he wants to avoid that thing. So what he does is he created an interface, and he says that this class will implement this interface, and implementing this interface, that all the functions or all the abstract functions inside this interface will be overridden here. So if any class wants to implement a particular interface, you will have to use the keyword implements followed by the name of the interface. And now you can see here that rectangle, there is a red line over rectangle here because we have not overridden this void area function, since this function is abstract and also public by default. So we are going to create, or we are going to override this method public void area function. So this method is public, so this means that any other class or in some other package can also implement this interface. So now I can just perform some operations here, but at this moment we're just going to print that it is the area function in interface. So that's basically the use of interface. So if you want to add some more functions in a particular class, so you can do this so by implementing an interface. So in interface you cannot create any instance variables, you cannot even create an object of this interface. So let's create an object of this class rectangle, like this. So if I will call the area function, it will just display the area function in interface in the output screen. So the basic difference between abstract class and an interface is that in an abstract class you can even create functions that are concrete, and concrete functions are those functions which have implementation, but in interface you cannot do that. So if you try to do something like this in interface, it will throw an error, system.out.print hello. So you can see that it is showing that there is an error because your interface cannot create concrete functions, but an abstract class can do that. In interface, these functions are abstract by default, no need to specify the abstract keyword, and they are also public in nature. You can create an instance variables in this shape interface. That's one major difference. And there is one more difference. So if you have created an abstract class and you have extended it, or you have derived some more classes through it, then all the classes will have to override the functions of the abstract class. But in interfaces, we can selectively do that. So even if there is a subclass, so let's create a class super shape. So I'm just creating this class super shape, and let's suppose this is a subclass. So I can create a subclass of this super shape class, and you can see that you can do the inheritance and implementation of the interface at the same time. So you can selectively just implement these functions inside these interface by just writing these two words, implements and the name of the shape. So that's the main use of the interfaces in Java, and you can use it in a lot of ways. So that's it for this tutorial. In the next tutorial, we are going to study exception handling. So thanks for watching.